Creative Teacher Getting Freebies. This course will help you master the art of seeking donations and grants.
Welcome to Creative Teacher Getting Freebies. I'm your instructor for the course, Stephanie Hamilton, and I'm excited to share with you what I've learned over the course of my years teaching, being the director of an after-school program, and in working with federal programs on how to get donations and grants. I began teaching and I really didn't learn how to get free supplies and free furniture and materials until I ran an after school program. And when I did that, I learned how to build relationships and seek donations. Throughout this course, I'm going to share some of the things I've learned over my career. I was a classroom teacher for over 12 years. I was a special education teacher and an elementary education teacher. Then I ran an after-school program for children in grades K through 12. We had some supplies when we opened up, but we needed a lot more, and I wanted to take my students on field trips. So I'll share how I got supplies and a field trip from donations. Then, in working with schools across the country, I've learned some tips from principals and teachers on how they were able to get donations for their classroom. So I'm excited that you're going to sign up for this course, and I'm excited to share what I've learned and the multitude of resources there are for teachers so that you can get free supplies.
Course Description. This course summarizes the basic strategies you'll need to seek money to support a classroom or community program, like an after-school or Saturday program. I hope that you will learn how to be an assertive seeker. That means a confident person who believes in their goal and the needs of their students, so that you can seek supplies, furniture, equipment, and more. At the end of the course, you'll understand the basics of grant writing to create successful applications. Our course is divided into 3 sections or topics: getting started, diving in, and grant basics. The goals for our course. I hope that you'll be able to identify the personal qualities that encourage relationship building. We're going to talk about the key qualities that you need to get out there and dive in. I hope you'll be able to define and set goals for the needs you have in your classroom. I'm hoping that you'll also be able to develop strategies for building community relationships or strengthening the ones that you've already established. I want to help you identify sources for funding, and you'll learn the basics of grant writing. So what's the reality for teachers? In a recent report from the U.S. Department of Education, public school teacher spending on classroom supplies, which may not be a surprise to you, a higher percentage of teachers in traditional public schools, 94%, spent their own money on classroom supplies than teachers in public charter schools. A higher percentage of teachers of elementary grades, 95%, spent their own money on classroom supplies than teachers of secondary grades. Among teachers who did spend their own money without getting reimbursed, and we all as teachers know this story, the average amount spent was $479. About 44% spent $250 or less, while 36% spent from $251 to $500. Where are you in that range? So what are the things we typically buy as teachers? Here's a list, but it's not exhaustive. Themed decorations, pencils, pens, markers, paper, notebooks, books, cleaning supplies, art supplies, subscriptions. We buy all kinds of things for our students. So when we think about getting started, how do I build relationships of mutual respect and trust? Can I be assertive with people I don't really know? And getting started is just that: meeting people, developing relationships, and being assertive because you believe in your cause. We're going to talk about setting goals. And setting goals is built on the premise of SMART. As a classroom teacher, I've always used and encouraged other teachers to use the SMART model, which was developed by Dr. Robert S. Rubin, because when you're writing a lesson plan, you want it to be SMART. So when we think about setting our goals to obtain funding for something we need in our classroom, we also need to be smart. So we need to be specific, manageable, achievable, results oriented, and timely. And we'll talk about each one of these things later in the course. There are grants for teachers. There are many organizations, companies, and agencies that want to support teachers in the work that they do. Grants can help supply needed materials for your classroom, or they can support your own professional development so you can increase your knowledge, skills, and abilities. In this course, let's take a look at how teachers can take advantage of freebies to enrich their classrooms.